This challenge includes 30 multiple-choice questions to review for Unit 1 of the Common 9 unit series to prepare for the AP World History. For reviews of the other 8 units, please subscribe. Grab a beverage and snack. Let's begin. What is a floating garden on which the Aztecs grew crops? Chinampas were floating gardens used by the Aztecs for agriculture. What social code of knighthood in the Middle Ages emphasized ideals of honor, bravery, and courtesy? The code of chivalry characterized the social codes of knighthood in the Middle Ages. What are the complex of Anasazi cliff dwellings in the U.S. Southwest called? Mesa Verde is the complex of Anasazi cliff dwellings in the U.S. Southwest. What system of knotted strings did the Incan Empire use to track numbers and figures? Quipu was the Incan system of knotted strings used for record keeping. What city was considered the center of learning and intellectual transfer in Islamic Spain? Cordoba was the center of learning with the largest library and universities in Islamic Spain. What is the moral code of conduct for the samurai emphasizing honor, courage, and skill in martial arts? Bushido was the moral code for samurai in Japan. What was another name for the Aztecs? Mexicas is another term for the Aztecs. What was the trade network that traded goods across the Sahara Desert in the northern part of the African continent? The Trans-Saharan Trade Network facilitated trade across the Sahara Desert in Africa. What Buddhist-dominated empire flourished in Southeast Asia, controlling the Strait of Malacca and Sunda Strait? Srivijaya Empire was a Buddhist-dominated empire in Southeast Asia. What was the massive Incan roadway system with 25,000 miles of roads primarily used by the government and military? Kapanan was the extensive Incan roadway system used mainly by the government and military. What type of Vietnamese Buddhism spread into China and Korea, introducing the concept of deities and gods? Mahayana Buddhism spread into China and Korea, emphasizing deities and gods. Which European military campaigns aimed to free the Holy Land from Muslim rule? The Crusades were European military campaigns to free the Holy Land from Muslim rule. What West African kingdom, founded during the 5th century, sold gold and ivory to Muslim traders in exchange for salt, copper, cloth, and tools? The Ghana kingdom in West Africa engaged in trade, selling gold and ivory to Muslim traders. What characterized the European feudal social structure involving kings, lords, knights, and serfs? The European feudal social structure involved kings, lords, knights, and serfs within the manorial system. Which medieval empire thrived in gold trade, rose in place of Ghana, and controlled trade within the Indian Ocean trade network? The Mali Empire thrived in gold trade and rose in place of Ghana. What was the effort by Christian leaders to drive Muslims out of Spain, lasting from about 800 until 1492? The Reconquista was the effort to drive Muslims out of Spain from 800 to 1492. What was the empire in southern India founded by two brothers from the Delhi Sultanate, converting back to Hinduism from Islam? The Vijayanagara Empire in southern India was founded by two brothers who converted back to Hinduism. What were given tax exemptions in return for supporting princes during the Tang dynasty in China? Buddhist monasteries were given tax exemptions during the Tang dynasty. What intellectual movement during the Renaissance studied classical texts and focused on human potential and achievements? Humanism during the Renaissance focused on classical texts and human achievements. What marked the revival of ancient Greek and Roman culture, art, and literature in Europe between 1300 and 1600? The Renaissance marked the revival of ancient Greek and Roman culture, art, and literature in Europe. What term describes the combination of several religions' traditions? Syncretic refers to the combination of several religions or traditions. What document codified the rights and powers of English nobles, limiting the king's power and granting rights such as jury trials? The Magna Carta codified the rights of English nobles, limiting the king's power. Which European empire was established in the 10th century, consisting mainly of lands in Germany and Italy? The Holy Roman Empire was established in Europe, consisting mainly of lands in Germany and Italy. What rotational agricultural system in medieval Europe required one field for grain, one for legumes, and one left fallow? The three-field system was a rotational agricultural system in medieval Europe. Which Islamic scholar was known for contributions to astronomy, law, logic, ethics, mathematics, philosophy, and medicine? Nasir al-Din al-Tusi was a prolific Islamic scholar with contributions across various fields and an advanced observatory. What period of climate cooling in Europe occurred between the 14th and 19th century? The Little Ice Age was a period of climate cooling in Europe, impacting agriculture. What African kingdoms, divided into states connected through kinship ties, became largely Muslim through trade and missionaries? The Hausa kingdoms in Africa became largely Muslim through trade and missionaries. Which empire in Southeast Asia was known for its complex irrigation and drainage system and converted from Hinduism to Buddhism? The Khmer Empire in Southeast Asia was known for its complex infrastructure and later adopted Buddhism. What term refers to the right of inheritance belonging exclusively to the eldest son in Europe? Primogeniture refers to the right of inheritance exclusive to the eldest son. This system was common in Europe. Which West African storytellers were the conduit of history, possessing knowledge of family lineages and great leaders? Griots in West Africa were storytellers with knowledge of family lineages and history. That concludes our review of Unit 1 of the Common 9 unit series for the AP World History. Please subscribe for more reviews on AP World History and other AP courses. Good luck with your preparations and studies. You've got this.